historically, there's always been reluctance on the part of the teams for having precise performance data out there that the other teams can see. Is all that behind us now? Will the spectators and the teams now see information that indicates exactly where the boats are and how they're responding to puffs? And
the spectators will have more information than the other boats.
okay.
And all of that will be available to the other teams after the race.
After
the race.
After the race.
Hello?
How many cameras will be on it?
How many
How
cameras?
many cameras will be on it?
So there'll be, on the 45s there will be 4 cameras. There'll be one on the end of the bow spread. There'll be one just in front of the wing, and there'll be one on the aft beam on a television mount that takes it up about 1 metre above the aft beam, and there'll be one either on the portals or starboard deck. And then there'll be, I think it's 11 audio channels, or 10 audio channels on each 45. Every crewman is mic'd, as well as placement of other mics around the boat. So there's some 100 audio channels coming in, plus effectively 40 television cameras from the boats.
Are you satisfied they will honour that and work at them? Because I know through practical experience from 95 on that a lot of this technology has been available then in 2000. But there are some prominent names.
As you know, Peter.
Yes, exactly, I do. Well, a lot of it's been available and saying it's all new. I mean, it's been around, but we know there are prominent names who have refused to use this stuff, including some audio mics thrown overboard. So how can you guarantee it'll be used?
Well, it's part of the agreement. It's laid out in the protocol, and it's an offence that will be administered by the jury. So, you know, I dare say the ultimate offence is penalised by disqualification.
Yeah. Okay. It's a very good incentive to use the
So throwing it over the side won't be a good reason why it wasn't working.
Ian, what teams are taking part in the testing this week and next?
Well, Oracle have been running 2 boats. We have China, Artemis and New Zealand, and then we've had a variety of people on the ACRM boat from bits and pieces. We have invited participation from crews, from challenging teams to go out and sail on our boats, and we are also taking some guests on all of the boats if the weather permits.
We've seen a couple of capsizes with top boats recently, and also what we saw in the Extreme 40s a couple of weeks ago. Is there any sort of thought about safety with, I mean, you can see the looks on these guys' faces when they're dropping 26 feet, but when the beam goes up on a AC 72 to 46 feet, it's quite a fall. Is there any sort of thought on safety with those? Or?
Well, certainly safety's been high on our list, and you know, we're very fortunate to have Andy Hindley as our Chief Operating Officer, who came from the World Formula One powerboat circuit where safety is a big concern. So having the proper medical people that are trained in water rescues for serious injuries has been on our agenda from day one. So even out here doing our testing, we've had a medical team on station all times. And when we go to America's Cup World Series, we have specifically built 2 purpose-built boats that will be carrying a driver plus 3 medical staff at every event. And that's how we're starting in 45s and how that expands to the 72s. We take the safety of these boats very seriously, and as we're progressing this sport from the big old monohulls into very much more an extreme sport, the dangers of sailing these boats has gone up dramatically. There's no free lunch on great pitches. There is certainly a danger element to it, and you know, we have to consider the safety of the crew and the guests, and everyone involved. So,
Is there any way they can be actually harnessed onto the boat to stop the free falls when they go over?
we're in discussion with the crews, in particular how we deal with the guests on the boat. I can show you prototype seats and seat belts and all sorts of things around the corner that haven't won approval. The guys on the boats who we've got to listen to are saying this is all part of it, and they have to. There's an educational part, and as Jimmy said the other day, it's not going to be the first time, and it's not going to be the last. And we learned a lot about what to do. It's not like they're running into a wall. There is a little bit of time, as they nosedive in bits and pieces before they get to that critical height. So I think after New Zealand did it, or after Artemis did it the first time, and then New Zealand did it the second time, we've had thorough debriefs with all the crew. They've been happy to share the information, and certainly the same thing happened after Oracle did it on Tuesday. And every time it happens, we learn a little bit more. There's another view, and the information about how to retrieve the boats, get them back up, minimise the damage, because the damage is done when the wing's in the water, is improving each time. And as you've seen in the case of New Zealand and Oracle, the boats were sailing the next day, both of them sailed home, and no real damaged people or boats.